Hey folks, Ken here. Just thought I'd do a very quick update. Hasn't been a lot in the last few weeks. As you can see up here, it's a fairly miserable day in Dublin, and yesterday was much the same, wet and windy. Having said that, pond is grand. Certainly cover's not coming off yet, but hopefully in the next few weeks. Temperature's at 14 degrees. Which is, considering I'm not heated, I think it's very good. It's been relatively mild over the last few weeks. I am feeding every day, so I've wheat germ there. I was running low, so I picked up some Evolution Aqua wheat germ. Only noticed when I got it home was that it's actually the 3 to 4 mil, which is smaller than the 6 mil it was feeding, but they'll be fine. Not all my fish are that big. Just a quick update on my sluggish bottom drain. As you know, and I think I have it on a previous video, when I'm flushing my bottom drain, so I empty the filter and I flush them into the dirty side of the drum one by one, and I noticed over the last probably near enough a year now, the far drain there, the third one in, so the near one is the spin drifter at the back, the middle is the skimmer, and the far one then is the normal drain at the front. I've noticed the normal drain has been sluggish. It's sort of a lug sensation. I'd say it's running at, it's hard to put a figure on it, but it's certainly at a lower rate. Could be as low as 50% of the back bottom drain. And I've been trying to figure out what the hell that was. Now, the history is the pond is 2 years old. It hasn't been really that heavily stocked for at least the first year anyway. I've never had a blanket weed problem in the pond. I did see the sort of starts of it and did a treatment a couple of times, or even a half treatment of the clover leaf, but never had a full-blown blanket weed problem. So there's nothing obvious that could be blocking that bottom drain. So I got to thinking, and because it's a standard bottom drain, it's one of the cheaper £25, €30 ones, the standard, there's no air. And I noticed when I was putting it in, the spin drifter has a very solid lid on it that doesn't flex, because the air diaphragm and all is on the top of it and it sits up. So when I put them in, I made sure, as excuse the gloves, it's sort of a finger gap, so it's sort of 3/4 of an inch gap. You don't get that equal all around because it's not flat with the fiberglass and that, but anyway, I did my best on both sides and I was happy. So I decided, I bought these actually, these connecting rods. I'm doing a job on my wife's car, putting in a stereo, and they're handy for that home running wires, and I got them on eBay for €20 for the set, and you put them together and it extends to about 3 meters. So I was thinking during the week, I wonder if I could check the gap between the lid and the bottom of the pond with these. And you can see with those, they're very narrow. They're, I don't know what you'd call them, they're maybe 5 mil or so, not even. And so I put them together anyway. I didn't video it because I could hardly see it myself, never mind on the camera, and I needed 2 hands. But I was able to thread it down, but lo and behold, on both sides of the front bottom drain, I could not get them under it for love nor money, as I say. So it looks as though the pressure of the water and the flex that's available in that lid has flexed it down to almost, I'd say, close off that bottom drain. I even got my net, it's starting to rain now, it's miserable, but you can see my net there, which is quite narrow as well. It's a bit thicker than that, but again, it's less than finger width, and no matter, I could get that down well to the bottom drain, but I could not for low, and forcing it, and I could get good force on that with the handle, could not get it under. So I'm fairly sure that is my problem. So if anyone has any thoughts or experienced that before, maybe just let me know. What I'm thinking is I'm probably better doing it sooner rather than later, is maybe get some strong even some of this pipe, I have some of that, it's very strong, and you know, to cut pieces of that wouldn't compress too easily, you know, that are sort of finger tight, and cut out 5 or 6 little sections, drop the level of the pond so I can get in with the wellies, and just go down and stick them under the lid in 4 or maybe 6 places, just to support the lid and stop it closing down. Just wondering if that would be enough. It should be. I mean, the force of the water, as we know, not ordinarily going through bottom drains, maybe when I do a flush it might flush them in, I don't know, I'd see them quick enough come up through. But if that held it, that'd be great. But as I say, probably better off doing it now when the filter is just getting back on its feet and I'm not feeding full steam, so I could I can empty it down fairly quickly with my butt pump. I've done it before, just drop it into the pond, and within less than an hour it will drop it down to wading depth. And if I get in and I could fill the back part of the pond I'm not using as well, that's 2,000 litres, and have that ready, and then as soon as I have the job done is just dump in the 2,000 litres, which will bring it up a bit, and then just stick the tap on it overnight. Stick in I've plenty of sodium thiosulfate as well to dechlorinate it as it's going in, but that's the idea. But if anyone's experienced it or has any advice, just let me know. But otherwise, really nothing to report, all's going well. As I say, hopefully get the covers off and the back part running within the next month or so. I think it was towards the end of May that might be mid-end of May when I took them off last year, so I'll likely do the same this year, and get the back part running, and have a couple of lilies. I want to split them up into other pots as well, but they're sort of the immediate plans. But maybe next week, and I will video if I'm doing it, maybe sliding on my arse in the pond with the algae. I do have a sort of a big ladder. Before, when I was building the pond and I was getting in and out a few times, what I did was I have a step ladder, and I just drain the pond down and throw the step ladder over the wall into the pond and tie a rope to it, and get my wife or my son to hold the rope as I was getting down. Now the biggest risk is that when you put your foot down on the base, it's going to be very slippery, but you know, with the wellies, I mean, I should be in and out quick enough. But that's the plan. All right, talk to you again. If any comments, let me know. Cheers.